Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and for another important topic that will be being shed light on during the course of the episode for the Daily Debate for tonight is the Senate elections that are being held here in Egypt on the 4th and the 5th of August, and of course for the Egyptian expatriates on the 1st and the 2nd of August. I'm honored to be having with me over the phone the former Member of Parliament, Dr. Maha Nasser. Thank you very much for being with us tonight over the phone, Doctor.
Thank you.
Anytime. First of all, how do you see the importance of holding the Senate elections here in Egypt on the 4th and the 5th of August for the future of legislation here in the country? What is the main role for the upcoming round for the Senate?
Actually, the main role of the Senate is how to see the effects of the legislations which are made by the House of Representatives. And this is a very important role, because we don't want to just make legislations and we don't know how it is applied and what is the real effect on the ground after applying these legislations.
Yes.
And actually, during the past few months, there were very important legislations took place. So I think the new term for the Senate will be very important, that they should study the actual effect of all these legislations on the ground and on the community.
Yes, and finally, Doctor, how do you see the importance of the representation of the youth and the women in the Senate, and the participation of the youth in these elections, and more specifically for the Egyptian expatriates?
I think now having a lot of young people and women in both chambers of the parliament is very important, and people around the world are encouraging this positive encouragement for the country. Yes. Because this representation it hasn't been done before, and now we are approaching standards for the representation for women and youth that didn't happen earlier. So it's really important.
Yes, Dr. Maha Nasser, the former Member of Parliament. Thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate and Nile TV International. We will be heading to the first report of the program for tonight, focusing on the E3 talks between France, Germany and Britain and Iran in Istanbul on Friday that took place with no breakthrough and an agreement to be continuing the discussions once again later on. We'll be having more details in the upcoming report. Stay tuned.
The E3 nations reiterated that the snapback mechanism remains an option if Tehran fails to cooperate with the IAEA and reduce its stockpile of enriched free uranium. Talks between Iran and the UK, France and Germany, known collectively as the E3 countries, concluded in Istanbul on Friday, with both sides agreeing to continue discussions aimed at breaking a deadlock over Tehran's nuclear program. The 4-hour meeting held at the Iranian consulate marked the first formal engagement since the 12-day conflict between Iran and Israel in June, which included U.S. airstrikes of nuclear-linked sites. Discussions focused on the possible reimposition of international sanctions lifted under the 2015 nuclear deal, which limited Iran's enrichment activities to exchange for relief from punitive measures. Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem, who led the Iranian delegation alongside the Rawalchini, have described the exchange as serious, frank and detailed, noting that both sides came with specific ideas and had agreed to further consultations. The E3 have warned that without visible progress, sanctions could be restored under the UN's snapback mechanism, a clause in 2015 agreement allowing automatic return of sanctions if Iran breaches the deal's terms. A European diplomat said that E3 have offered Tehran a temporary delay in triggering the mechanism on condition that Iran re-engage diplomatically, cooperate fully with the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, and address concerns over its rapidly growing stockpile of highly enriched uranium. The snapback remains a table, the diplomat said. Iran, however, insists that its enrichment activities are within its legal rights, reiterated on social media that Tehran's nuclear efforts must be adding that the talks should not serve as a platform for hidden agendas such as military action. He also stated that Iran's involvement in the diplomatic process depends on rebuilding trust, particularly in light of the U.S. withdrawal from the 2015 accord under former President Donald Trump. In May, the IAEA reported that Iran's stockpile of uranium enriched to 60% purity have surpassed 400 kilograms, close to weapons-grade level. Since then, Tehran have suspended cooperation with the agency. The IAEA Director, Rafael Grossi, have warned that inspectors must be allowed to enter and return soon. This is in an international obligation of Iran, he said, urging movement from words to reality. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian maintained that the country remains committed to international law and does not intend to pursue nuclear weapons. The talks in Istanbul come amid rising tensions in region. Last month, Israeli and U.S. military strikes on Iranian nuclear sites prompted attacks on Israel and U.S. base in Qatar.